Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills, this is Brock Shimano. Today is Friday the 15th for the weekly wrap-up. Let's turn right over to Firetip Trading Platform, see where we closed off the week here. Corn for May delivery trading up 1 1/4 cents. Soybeans trading down 8 1/2 cents. Wheat in Chicago off 1 1/4. In Kansas City, wheat trading down 1 penny here. We did have NOPA crush numbers. That moved the market. Brock, break it down for us.
You know, we did have a relatively quiet trade day here for corn, soybeans, and wheat. Once those NOPA crush numbers did come out, it did push the soybean market quite a bit lower. If you take a look at the 5-minute chart for the May contract on soybeans, you can see right in the middle there is when the NOPA crush numbers came out. Over that 15-minute span, we did sell off pretty substantially right after those numbers did come out. And I think the reason for that is that the industry was kind of expecting 141 million bushels being crushed last month. What we did see reported was 136 million, so we fell quite a bit lower than what the analysts were actually expecting this week, leading to the selling.
Yeah, and you know, yesterday we sold off a little bit as well, and on GrainTV we talked about this support level that we were right around, and of course this NOPA crush number really allowed the selling to push through that support level that we were talking about. If we switched over here to the daily chart, do you think we have the possibility of moving back up toward the higher side of this range in the 1480 price level, or do you think we could very easily be heading lower?
You know, I kind of thought we did have quite a bit of support there right around that 1433 to 1435 area. We had the 100-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, as well as that short-term trend line right there, all sitting in the same area. That NOPA number really pushed us below there, and I think we're going to continue to sell off here for a little bit. The next area of support I'm looking for is about $14. If we break through there, I think $13.50 isn't out of the question at this point.
Yeah, and I would agree 100% with you right now. Just the selling that we saw today on a Friday, I think that soybeans really could come off here. We really haven't seen a lot of buying activity out of China. We know that Brazil is about 50% harvested, and more grain is coming onto the global market, so that's really going to pressure our export sales going forward. If you switch over to wheat here, this is kind of an interesting commodity here because it's really been performing well in the last couple of days. This is the daily chart, and what each one of these bars is representing 1 day worth of price activity. And you can see here we've really been selling off for a number of months now. And we finally, in the last 5 or so days, we've been able to string a number of gains together, and we're now trading up right here around 723. But if you look at the 5-minute chart, look at the way we traded today. You know, we were chopping around. We tried to sell off a few times, but we ended up closing near the top side of the range. To me, I think that this thing has room to run probably up to around 750 before we meet some serious resistance. There's a number of fundamental reasons. One is it's cheaper than corn right now. We are hearing a lot of talk about people switching feed from corn to wheat, and in the cash market it was significantly cheaper when we were doing our analysis, about 30 cents, and we don't usually see that around this time of the year. You know, the other thing here is just that wheat export sales have really been picking up. We had a great week this week, and I think that there's an opportunity for this to also have a great week next week. So bottom line here is I wouldn't be surprised to see wheat move a little bit higher here in the next week.
You know, Cody, I'm in agreement with you that I think we do move a little bit higher for wheat over the next couple weeks or so. Something that we do have to keep on our radar heading down into the spring, and as the winter wheat crops coming out of dormancy, the conditions have really improved recently for the southern plains and that winter wheat growing area. That's something we'll have to pay attention to as we move further down into spring here.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't we switch our attention over here to basis? You know, I was looking a little bit at the basis throughout the Midwest for corn and for soybeans. And one of the things over this last week, we noticed that corn really didn't change a whole lot. It stayed pretty stagnant, mostly unchanged throughout the U.S. However, when you look at the cash market for soybeans, it was a little bit different story. We actually saw a decline of 1 cent on average across the U.S., but that was driven mostly by the river markets. And as you can see here, you know, you're really getting a river effect here. The basis during the Gulf, or in the Gulf, declined by about 3 cents, and we saw the Ohio River. That was the part of the river that was affected the most. That declined by an average of 4 cents, and that really helped drag down that overall basis average throughout the U.S.
If you guys have any questions out there or want to take a free demo, make sure you head over to grainhedge.com or give us a phone call, 877-472-4607. Of course, you can always follow us on Twitter, @GrainTV is where you can find us, or check us out on Facebook.